you have to say for people who don't fit in your definition of man or woman? I'm a biologist. I understand the biology. Are you saying that a woman is only a person who has two X chromosomes and a man who is someone who only has an X and a Y chromosome?
I think that's the scientific definition, yes.
It's actually not, because there can be people with XXY. There can be Y chromosome inactivation. The way that this biology works is that you have genes. Those genes make proteins. Those proteins develop the traits that you define as men and women. They develop the features that you define as male. They develop the genitalia. But you can be a woman with female genitalia and be XY. You can be a man, but you can have XX chromosomes.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about, Grace. You're talking about a very rare condition known as intersexed.
One in 100 people experience chromosomal differences in sex.
Okay, but not 1 in 100 have different genitalia or ambiguous genitalia.
And what do you say to those people?
Well, what you say is that's a situation that is not the norm. We're not saying that they're not people, obviously. As I understand it, maybe you know more about it than me, when you do have a truly intersexed person, at that point, either the parents or when they're old enough, they can decide which way they're going to orient themselves and they can get the appropriate surgery. But that's not what we're experiencing in our culture.
So you're saying that it's okay for people to decide their gender?
In that situation, but that's not what we're talking about in our culture. What we're talking about in our culture are people with perfectly normal functioning sexual organs trying to have them removed and trying to transition to another gender, which is impossible scientifically.
Have you ever?
These people are absolutely confused. I'm tired of their stupid rhetoric and saying, well, you can change your gender. And then they point to the one example of this human being, this one person in the smallest part of the earth who has five legs and the person has 2 horns. And then they say, yeah, well, there's this type of person that, so, well, if this person can do it, that means we all should be able to do it. And then they cite the one person out of 1 billion people. And then they use that to go off to tell us their truth.
Ever doubted that you're a man? You've doubted that you...
Oh, have I ever doubted I'm a man? No, I have never doubted I'm a man.
Then what do you say to a transgender person who has never doubted their gender? You're saying that we all change and that obviously transgenderism is a product of some kind of phase, but you've never doubted that you're a man. So
no,
where's your development of this change?
Grace, I'm not denying there are people truly with gender dysphoria. I've already said that. What I'm saying is the way out of that problem is not surgery according to the data. Okay? Psychiatry is the way out of that problem.
I also don't agree with your statement that after surgery, you implied that transgender people are more likely to commit suicide after surgery. But the statistics say that transgender people are more likely to commit suicide because of arguments that you make that they're invalid.
I really want to see this stat or study where she's gathered or where they've gathered and they've told us the stories of people who've ended their lives somehow being able to tell us that it's because of people who disagree with them. I really want to know how they get that study to tell us that the people who are not here to tell us why they ended their lives was because of people like us. But I guess she must be right.
No, I'm not saying they're invalid.
I'm just saying that you implied that it's the surgery that's causing suicide
No, it's
rates.
not. What I'm saying is the surgery doesn't fix anything. That's the point. It's practically the same rate, whether they have the surgery or not.
If you woke up and grew breasts today, would like them to be removed? There are men.
Say that again?
Have you ever heard of gynecomastia?
I had it.
And so did you have that fixed?
Yes, I did.
And did that make you feel affirmed in your gender and comfortable in your body?
No, when I was in the Navy, nobody knows this, by the way. Jesus, now I'm revealing I need a HIPAA form to sign here or something.
You don't have to talk about it.
No, what I'm saying is, yes, I've had that myself and had it surgically removed when I was in the Navy. Yeah.
And do you feel more comfortable in your body and more affirmed in your gender because of that?
Well, it wasn't a gender thing for me. It was the fact, well, I can't even get into it now because it had nothing to do with my gender. Okay. So.
How did she go? Did you feel good in your gender and did you feel comfortable in your body? I'm so sorry, but they all sound the same. And it was just a surgical thing. He didn't say that. Why are you trying to push what you think it is onto him when he doesn't think that's the case?
it had to do with it had to do with the fact that it looked really odd. Let me just put it that way. Okay. But Grace, my point is if we truly care about people, are we going to try and force them down a road, particularly as children, into a solution to a problem which is proven not to be a solution?
You just said that having that surgery made you feel better about yourself.
Are you kidding me? He said it looked odd. That's why he did it. You're not even listening is the annoying thing. He said he did it because it looked weird, not what you're trying to believe it was. And the data shows all these people who keep transitioning to be something that they're not, they still end up ending their lives the same way they did before it. So the surgery is not even really helping them. So they are affirming their gender and are still ending up with the same mental state, which tells you a bigger thing, that it's not to do with their body. It tells you a deeper thing, that there's something going on in their brain.
That has nothing to do with transgender surgery. I wasn't changing my sex. I was having breast tissue removed. Okay? I was always a man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So...
And say that I have XY chromosomes, but I'm born with female genitalia and female body types, but I believe I'm a man. Should I not be allowed to have that breast tissue removed?
As an adult, you can do whatever you want.
Yes, that's fine.
My problem is with the children. That's where I'm having a real problem.
Is there a magic button at 18 that instantly makes you feel like you know who you are and absolutely what your gender is?
No, well, I think for women it's probably like 15. For men it's 37. To be honest with you, okay? Because men don't develop as quickly as women, all right? But no, we've just chosen 18 kind of as the adulthood crossing point, although for some issues it's 21, like drinking, okay? So, no, maybe it's later than 18, okay? My big problem, and I would say this to somebody who's 37, that the surgery does not appear to help anyone. And if you want more data on this, you can go to sexchangeregret.com. Sexchangeregret.com. But I wouldn't even be talking about this issue unless I thought the current way the culture's going is hurting people. And it is.
It's very sad to see where society has come and the degeneracy that has gone on for far too long. And it's beginning to seem like it's becoming a normal thing, especially amongst the younger generation, which is really, really sad. But anyway, that was another video, another reaction. As I usually say, if you guys enjoyed the video, like the video as much as possible. Comment down below. Let's get a discussion going down below. I'll reply to as many comments as possible. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at YinkaThatGuy. And I am out.